I'd like to kick off this episode by telling a funny story, an anecdote from off mic at your older brother's conversation. We were talking on Discord a few weeks ago while you guys were playing Counter-Strike, and I was watching a stream while cooking some dinner. And I was just kind of like humming to myself, and I was singing Drake lyrics where one of the lines is like, "But I'm the man." And then you just said, last name, first name, like a gay. I'm a fucking. And I couldn't stop laughing.
It's the most lowbrow thing. It's so low effort. It's nothing.
I was dying alone in my kitchen for like 20 minutes. Anyway, I was like, damn, I need to write that down so that we can share that on the show, because this is too good.
This is what we're doing in our down. This is what all men honestly do when they're around the boys and they just have nothing else to say. This is our stimming.
Yes.
Yeah.
9/11 videos we were talking about, you know.
Yes.
Yeah. When men get together, it's not like what's the best illegal pussy you ever stole from a woman through rape. It's a lot of like just last name Drake, first name.
Yeah, we really don't talk about all that gross, sexual stuff.
No, because we already know.
No.
We already know.
We already know everything telepathically. We're like a hive mind.
Yeah.
No, we're just talking about memes that we can't talk about around our girlfriends.
Talking about our movie pitches. Did I tell you my movie pitch for Body Cam, the movie?
Body Cam, no.
Do you know what this is? Back when the Rust on-set shooting happened, this was when Alec Baldwin accidentally, that girl. This was around the same time that Jonathan Majors was getting canceled for possibly like beating his girlfriend or something. It was very murky, like what happened here, whatever. And to revitalize like both of their images, I had an idea for a movie made called Body Cam, where Alec Baldwin is a like disgraced actor who now had to become a New York cop, just to like he needed some way to pay the bills. And they're like, "Hey, you seem like you're good with guns. Like you can join the NYPD." And then he shows up to a call about a active rape in progress or whatever they call it. He shows up. It's Jonathan Majors raping his girlfriend. He pulls out his gun. He's like, "Get off of her." But then he misfires and kills her. And so then they're both just like frozen for a second. And then they realize that, now there's footage of Alec Baldwin killing another woman on his body cam. Mm-hmm. And this body cam also captured Majors raping. So they both, just like the movie Sex Tape with Cameron Diaz, need to get all the footage erased. And the movie is about how they have to do like a Breaking Bad, like magnet in a van kind of recreation scene to destroy the evidence of the body cam footage of their crimes to uncancel themselves.
Oh, shit.
So that's Caleb Linder's buddy comedy.
If you guys would like to give us $10 million so we can make this.
$6 million. We shoot next summer. Can you imagine if that was real, though? Wouldn't that be a good movie?
That's a very funny idea. I would like to see that. I don't think Alec would be on board, though.
No.
He'd be remorseful. He's just like, oh, fuck. I got away killing one bitch.
How many women do I get to kill in this movie? I only see one in the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah. Alec definitely did that on accident. Like, it wasn't his fault whatsoever. It's the armorer's fault. But it's really funny that after that happened, he was like, oh my God, first thing I do, call my lawyer. Instead of being like, oh my God, like police or whatever, EMTs. Yeah. He's like, gotta get Alan Dershowitz on the phone.
People were very quick and ready to crucify him, obviously, because they're like, he made fun of Trump. So now they're like, okay, now it's hilarious that the guy who's like moralizing is now involved in an accidental murder or whatever. Mm-hmm. But he didn't help himself with that interview he did with, I think it was with George Stephanopoulos, where he was like, he kept talking about the gun and he kept doing like finger guns at the camera. And he's like, well, you see, if I was aiming at you like this, I wouldn't turn it like this, but I got to do the press check like this. Yeah. And he just like, okay, what are we doing here? And he was also like, I don't know if he was fake crying, but it did come off very fake the way he was breaking down and getting emotional. It's like, can you stop acting for a minute? We believe you that you're sad. You don't have to lay it on so thick.
Yeah, actors can't stop acting.
No.
Like, even when there's like an episode of, I think it's like Kitchen Nightmares, but the English version, where there's this one guy who's like an ex-actor, and he becomes a restaurateur, and then Gordon comes in, and he's just like, all this shit is like fucking bad or whatever. He's like tearing him apart, and this guy's like doing a stage acting, like, you can't be saying that to me. He's like, stop fucking acting. I'm trying to help you, dumbass, you stupid prick. Yeah. It's like they can't turn that off.
No,
it's constantly on, because I mean, it's their profession.
Yeah, I thought about this. There's someone who there's some young actor who said something that stuck with me, where he said a lot of actors who are I guess not character act, like talented, they can do different kinds of characters, but it's not like what they're known for. Like, for instance, like Brad Pitt and George Clooney, they are the two like iconic American leading men of our, like, when we were coming online, and both of them can play many different kinds of characters, but often they are playing someone who is not that dissimilar from their just real life persona. I saw something of a young actor talking about how those kinds of actors, the trick of it is that they're really kind of not having to act when they act, because they've just sort of made it like, it's not that they're playing themselves in the movie, but then there's this real self outside the movie. Their real self kind of is the movie self. They're just kind of always in character of the normal guy. Mm-hmm. And, like, they don't even realize they're doing it. Like, they're not trying to be acting all the time. They're just always in training mode for faking emotions and stuff. And people are like, oh my God, actors are psychopaths or sociopaths. They don't feel anything. It's like, no, they do. They I don't think they know for themselves when they're being genuine, because they've just overdeveloped that muscle of always like trying on things and taking behavior they see from other people. And it's like, you can't turn that off once it just becomes your second nature.
Yeah, there's no mask for them anymore. And I think comedians are the same way, because I love Don Rickles, but he is always on. I mean, any appearance, even if he's like not on the show, he's constantly making jokes within a half a second. And he's a great comic. He's very quick. But I feel like once you reach that level of stardom, what people think is a wall that you put up is actually just a facade, and you just become that character. There's no sense of self anymore.
Yes. Yeah, the thing of like, don't meet your heroes is usually just interpreted as because they're going to be assholes. Mm-hmm. But also, you are going to be, and I've had this moment with Tim Heidecker where I can't really be as big of a fan of him anymore, because I just assumed that all these characters and little things he was doing all the time were 100% a character he was putting on. Then when you see the real him, you're like, oh, you kind of suck. You kind of actually are a little bit antisocial, mm-hmm. and a little bit like, I don't know what you call this, but he does this shtick where he's like he's always searching for words, and he'll inevitably come up with the wrong thing to say. Then you watch his like actual podcast he does, Office Hours, where it's like he really is just kind of grasping at straws for like whatever to say about anything, and he doesn't really have he can't have opinions, because then he'll be not accepted by like Fred Armisen in Hollywood or whatever. Right. He thinks he's like getting rid of opportunities. And then you're left with nothing. It's like we were talking about with Leonardo DiCaprio, that video we saw of him talking about the films that he loves. And it's like, he's talking about what are supposedly his most passionate things, but it's just said with the most droll thing. And it's like, they're not there anymore. There is no person to meet. They're just motivation to continue acquiring wealth and maintain their status.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think they realized it was easier to just be what people think they are, instead of having any kind of personality. Mm-hmm. Because I feel like also once you get rich enough, you're just like, you are not a human anymore to yourself, because you can't relate to that many people. Because if you can count how many billionaires exist, like, within a couple minutes in the world. I mean, there's a very small amount of like literal billionaires, but there's a clip of Bill Gates on like Ellen DeGeneres. Have I ever talked about this on here?
I don't know.
They were doing this game, and it was supposed to be like so coy, and she's just like, oh, I'm Bill Gates. It's just like, how much is like a carton of eggs? And he's like, I don't know, $50. And everybody in the audience is like, what the fuck is he talking about? And Bill Gates, I don't think was raised like insanely rich. I mean, his parents probably had money. Middle class or had money, but he was not like starting as like a multi-millionaire, billionaire. Mm. And it's like, how do you get to the point where you just lose all that knowledge? Mm. Yeah. Or like where that do you remember that like a viral thing like a decade ago where like Donald Trump was just eating pizza with like a knife and fork? Yes. And every New Yorker is like, look at this motherfucking yeah, eating pizza like a fucking European.
Like a fucking Fanuc. Yeah, I haven't seen that clip, but I believe it. And that's also a scene. They must have gotten this for the show. That's a scene in Succession where a character's mad at how stupid his rich kids are, and he's like, "How much is a gallon of milk?" They're like, "I don't know, like $100."
Yeah.
He's like, "You fucking." Yeah, that is like verbatim this thing you're describing with Bill Gates.
Yeah.
Damn.
Like, how do you lose that too? Because at some point he had to buy eggs for himself, or at least go to a grocery store himself. Yeah. And I don't expect him to do that now because like some homeless guy's just gonna kill him if he doesn't have security. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But you should still at least be conscious about like how little things like that work. And I don't know how you lose that. And I'm, not saying that this is going to happen, but it's like, let's say that did happen to us. That would be terrifying to be like, I'm so out of touch that I literally don't know what anything is. I live in my own bubble.
What are you living for if you're at the point where you're just trying to maintain a level of wealth such that you then don't have to be unbabyified from all the things you've now been insulated from, like grocery shopping and cleaning your own house and everything? Like, what are you living for? Like, what do you even really, what do you, like, Alexander, there's no worlds left to conquer. Like, I mean, you can always try to conquer in terms of like, well, I'm getting richer, my business is expanding, or my influence is expanding. I'm still starring in the big movies, but that's, that's not rewarding. And like, so you're obviously just going to become like this unhappy prick. Like, all these people are miserable.
You know what it's like? So it's like playing one of those like open world video games like Grand Theft Auto or like anything like that, where you can go everywhere, like do anything, and you have like a checklist of like side quests or like collectibles to find, and then you like 100% the game. So all you have left now is this open world where nothing happens. It's like, yeah, you can drive around, you can like shoot people, you can like do whatever, and then it's like, but there's nothing you're working towards. There's no catharsis. It's like the American Psycho thing. There is no exit.
Life has no meaning if you don't have any responsibilities, other people depending on you, where you have to do work to service them. That is like the thing that gives our lives meaning. So when you don't have that analogy you're mentioning with GTA, I use that all the time in a training I have to do at my job when we're talking about this, of like getting the people that they're working with involved in things. It's like, you need to give them things to do because they might just want to sit around and have leisure time. But as you know, when you 100% in GTA, what does everyone start doing? You just go in the street and start killing people. And you're like, I might as well try to get to 5 stars. You just create conflict in your life if you don't have any. So yeah, you need something, you need like a challenge in front of you. And a lot of like entertainment people, they seem like hyper miserable because like the challenging thing or whatever at one point was like, can I succeed as an actor? But once you're established, you can really coast for a very long time without doing anything good.
Yes.
Like almost all of our actors haven't done anything good in like 20 years.
And once you have like so much money and there's nothing left to do, it's like, what do you do? It's like, I guess I'll buy an island in the U.S. Virgin Islands, call it Little St. James. Yeah. I'll buy a plane, ship all my friends there. We'll have parties.
Now that's a body cam movie. Now here, imagine that Alec Baldwin, the cop, is now invited to one of these parties, but he still has his body cam on. What does he see there,
Ooh.
With old Bill Gates, Billy G. Williams?
Billy G. Williams.
Do you know how Bill Gates named Microsoft?
How?
He named it after his penis.
Oh, yeah? Because it looks like an apple.
Giving myself applause there. Did you see that Kevin Spacey is doing Sinatra impressions in Israel for money?
Yes. That's so bizarre. There was a rumor that he was like homeless too.
Yes.
And he like put out a video and he's just like, thank you to all my fans still around the world. He's just like, no, I'm not homeless.
To those in the news media, he has this he's adopted this like, we're past it, I'm not Me Too'd, guys. And it's like, no. Like, it's still very fishy how everyone who accused you of something all committed suicide in 1 year.
Yes.
You're not cleared yet, Kevin. But he adopts this kind of like sort of Bill Maher, like defiant thing. He's talking about the news. He's like, they erroneously mischaracterized my statement about not having a home. I'm not homeless. I'm not on the streets. All right. And he has this thing of like, we all know the news is fake news, right? And it's like, no, you're not on this side of the fence now, Kevin. You don't get
with us.
That's pretty tricky what you just did there.
You have like no defenders.
Yeah. Yeah, he's crooning now. He's crooning for change because he can't get cast and things. He was in that. We watched the trailer for it. That thing. It was called like Mickey 17 or something.
It was not Mickey 17.
It was called. I swear. I think it's a name and then a number and the name ends in Y, just like Mickey 17. Peter 5'8". That's what it's called.
Peter 5'8".
I think I'm having a stroke here. We watched a trailer for it. It looked really lo-fi, and it was like he's a spy or something outside of like a cabin in Colorado, and it was probably filmed for like, $20 in a weekend, and he plays Peter 5'8". And it's just Kevin Spacey with like a balaclava on and like a Walter PPK.
I don't think we watched this together.
We did.
I don't remember.
A long time ago.
Okay.
Like one of the first times we hung out. It's like, dude, oh my God, look at this.
Okay.
It came out years ago, I think. Oh no, no, it came out last year. Okay, never mind. Not years. Yeah. But it like the trailer came out, I think, when we were hanging out here, and it was just like, oh my God. But he hasn't done anything other than that, and a movie called 1780, which came out this year. But these are not, this is like he's doing like European movies where, you're collecting a paycheck to just be in a complete hunk of shit.
These have no marketing because they're like, we can't really market a guy who...
Yeah, he's kind of raping.
Like, absolutely doing that.
He's kind of raping. He's kind of with Epstein. There's a photo of him holding that Epstein ring. He put it on in the Let Me Be Frank video. Do you remember that?
That was Epstein's ring?
Yes. Well, it's the same thing that Prince Andrew also had and other people involved. And there's like a photo of Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, and she's like sitting on his lap, and they're drinking coffee, and there's like a design on their mug. It's the same design. It's like this royal, like secret club society thing,
like the Christmas Adventurers from One Battle, but for rape.
Yeah, yes. There's photos of him like with that stuff, or with Jeffrey Epstein, and them hanging out in like the royal palace and whatever. And it's like, well,
you shouldn't be showing that iconography.
Do you think he thinks he's just the luckiest man? Because it's like, dude, I was doing. Like, they don't even know. Because, like, people just don't seem to bring up the Epstein stuff to him. No,
it's mostly stuff that he personally did to the other actors, I believe.
Put your hand on his back. And it's like, he's also on the Epstein Island. Are we forgetting about this guy?
Yeah, he kind of got away. And he was one of, like, the big people where it's like... In the terms of like Me Too stuff, it's like this was like, the very high publicity, like Harvey Weinstein type publicity, where it's like you should have like no career.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's still getting some movies, it's like it's amazing. I mean, people like fucking like Bryan Singer are still getting. Oh fuck, that's something we can talk about.
Yeah.
Did you know that Rush Hour 4 got greenlit because President Trump said do it?
No.
Yes.
About this.
Yes. And Bryan Singer is going to direct because he's directing the Melania documentary.
Oh my God.
And that's coming out soon.
So all these like gay rapists and pedophiles from Hollywood are now just sucking up to Trump and getting their Hollywood careers going somehow that way.
I guess so. I mean, he was already in, with the documentary. First of all, can we talk about how stupid it is that the president can just go like, I want to see Rush Hour 4, and then Paramount just goes, okay. I mean, they already like kowtowed to that because...
The Kimmel thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they were also going to like pay money. Like South Park was making fun of them. There's like something that like some lawsuit that I think like Paramount just had to pay Trump money and then he dropped a lawsuit.
I think you're right. This vaguely sounds familiar, but that was so gay that I couldn't even pay attention to
it. And now they're just like, yeah, we'll make Rush Hour 4, which I mean, who is asking for at this point? 2 and 3 were bad.
The same people who watched Axel F and said, I talked to more than one person. I think I told you this. I've talked to more than one person where I described Axel F. I'm like, oh, that was just so embarrassing. And they're like, dude, it's Axel Foley being Axel Foley. How could you not like it? And it's like, in their mind, it's like, I'm sure if they watched like the new Star Wars Rise of Skywalker, the last of the new trilogy, like they're like, well, it has the lightsaber, it has the TIE fighter. What do you mean it's bad? Like it's just kind of this. It's like a math. They view movies like a math equation. Like if all the variables are in the equation, that mean good.
Yeah. So it got good actor and it got more money and it Netflix. Me have Netflix.
Eddie Murphy play Axel Foley, and you're like. And that's all you needed to be satisfied? Those same people probably will enjoy Rush Hour 4, directed by Brian Penis.
Brian Penis?
This penis guy. He apparently touches a lot of penis. I don't know if you know about this. He's very gay, and there are a lot of accusations of him having, like, relationships with literal children.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
That's fucking insane.
Director of The Usual Suspects, by the way.
My God.
And the dude who wrote The Usual Suspects, Christopher McQuarrie, who him and Bryan Singer like grew up together and like wanted to make movies and stuff, and like they were like really tight. And then Christopher just distanced himself around like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
He is just making like Scientology action movies with Tom Cruise for the last 20 years. Like he just makes Mission Impossible movies and that the Jack Reacher 2, I'm sure he like ghost wrote that. That's all that he does.
Wow.
So it's like they took the fork in the road of like you can become like the embarrassing gay pedophile or the embarrassing Scientologist. These are the fork in the road in Hollywood.
That's the two choices. You can either be a gay pedophile or you can make dog shit.
And weirdly, the pedophile route isn't the one that panned out, because that's what people would say about Hollywood. You know, you got to sacrifice your mom and then like you get to have fame, or sacrifice your roommate like Lady Gaga and then you get to have fame. Or,
Do they really say that?
That's the allegation, yeah. She had like a friend who wanted to be a pop star who like fell off a parking garage or something.
Oh my God.
And it wasn't like a obvious suicide. And then Lady Gaga was like signed to an agency at that time or something. So there's like this theory that they like it's a handshake deal. It's like you got to sacrifice somebody and then you get to be. I don't know.
She had to do it, not some hitman.
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense. But it's just it's like the Big Mike penis thing. It's just something where people have just decided that that's what it is now.
Damn, it'd be so cool to be like a hitman for like McDonald's.
Go on.
I mean, like corporate espionage. Did you ever see that movie Demon Lover?
No, what's that?
So it's a French movie by the guy that did Irma Vep, Olivier Assayas.
Yeah, I know him.
Yeah, so the whole thing is that there are these competing like cartoon companies, and like I believe they're both in France. It has I think Chloe Sevigny in it.
Okay.
And the whole thing is about like corporate espionage. And at one point, they just basically have like assassins just like poisoning each other and like kidnapping members of like these rival anime companies.
Nice.
Yeah. And I thought it'd always be cool. Like it's kind of lame, but also it's just like, all right. And you are working for Starbucks and you need to kill these protesters.
Yeah.
It seems like a video game. If I had no morals, I would just be doing that dumb shit all day. I would love it.
It probably exists. I'm sure that there is corporate assassinations on behalf of Mickey D's.
It super does. Yeah.
Yeah, Bryan Singer, he hasn't done anything since Bohemian Rhapsody, right? That was in 2018.
Damn, yeah.
Because he got Me Too'd, and then it was like, you're gone. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he got fired like mid-production from that movie. And I don't think he's got anything. And also, like, he's not a real... I don't understand Bryan Singer. People are like, oh my God, what he did with the X-Men. Every single Bryan Singer movie besides The Usual Suspects is like the most disposable trash. Mm-hmm. He makes like the definition of goy slop. all of his the X-Men movies and the Superman Returns and Jack and the Giant Beanstalk Killer. Do you remember that?
I don't even remember that one.
You know, oh my God, it had Nicholas Hoult, your favorite.
Okay.
And it's Jack and the Giant Beanstalk, but with big CGI beanstalk ape monsters.
What the fuck?
It's a complete like Tim Burton, like Bryan Singer. He's just cooked. He was never good, really.
I mean,
kind of.
Yeah, it must be this thing of just like he has like worse dirt on people that he's able to be like, you will give me this director role.
He says, I'm kind of actually the most talented pedophile and I will touch your child if I need to. What's up?
What's up? Did you text? No. Well, thank you. Thank you for doing the one thing I want you to do.
You're welcome.
Also, is it Bryan Singer or Brett Ratner?
Which one?
Who did Rush Hour?
Rush Hour was done by Brett Ratner.
Oh, I might be thinking Brett Ratner.
Oh, did you say Brett Ratner earlier?
I said Bryan Singer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, Brett Ratner did the original Rush Hours, so I thought that Bryan Singer was coming back, taking over his franchise.
I got the B's mixed up.
Brett Ratner is like a very prolific producer now. Did you know he produced The Revenant?
Did he really?
Yeah. And other stuff, like his company Rat Pack Entertainment.
That's, yes. Yeah.
They've, they're behind quite a few like kind of noteworthy things, but he's terrible.
I mean, what do producers really even do besides just like put up money?
They do drugs in the back. I don't know.
I mean, some of them are more involved than others for sure. Like they're actually on set being like, oh, I want to see how this goes.
Yeah.
But I mean, we were talking about how Ava Longoria just gave money to make John Wick real. I don't know what effect she had on the plot or anything, but I assume, like, from what I can perceive is like, if you're just a producer credit, it's pretty much like, oh, if this one's the best picture, that's cool. I could be on stage and accept the most prestigious award of all time. But a lot of them are just like, yeah, I got like $5 million to waste for a tax write-on.
What a producer is supposed to be doing before the cameras start rolling on a certain project is that's where like 90% of their job is supposedly done. And it's basically like they're a big organizer, If the project began with a director who wrote their own script or found their own script they already like, and then this producer is getting involved at that stage. They're basically just working with the director of, okay, like you tell me what you want and we'll try to make it happen. And I'm gonna use all the leverage I have because of all the relationships I've formed by just attending cocktail parties every night in Hollywood with like debased, like completely moral free coke sniffing assholes who owe money to the Saudis and stuff like that. Like my job is just to sort of like play high school politics to try to get this somehow across the finish line, right? Then you have some producers that are like actual like brands as a producer, like Graham King, who produced The Aviator and The Departed and other like, you know, highbrow movies, or you know, like Spielberg as a producer with Kathleen Kennedy before the Star Wars stuff, you know, like doing all the Amblin shit, and or like Irwin Winkler, where it's like, I love fucking cinema, and like they're just scrounging to find projects that then they can go and attach a director to, and it's really more them putting the band together like that. Those are kind of the two avenues of being a producer that exist. But then when you hear them actually talk about their job, it's just the most soul crushing thing, where it's like it's really not. It's not what we all want it to be, where it's like all these people, we picture all these people in Hollywood, California working so hard to create something good. No, it's really just like a bunch of backhanded, like, it's like projects get greenlit just to embarrass somebody. It's all just like high school. With like drug addict, it's Euphoria.
It's a big dick measuring contest,
yeah.
Honestly, because it's like the thing of when you get so rich, like what else is there to do besides side quests? So they're in the late game where they've completed the main story. They're doing all the side quests that they didn't want to do, getting all the collectibles, and then once they've like gotten like a Best Picture win or nomination, they're like, all right, I, Brad Pitt, am just gonna like have sex with children.
Yeah, he seems great though. Let's not besmirch his wonderful name.
He seems not great.
No, he seems great.
He seems super not good.
He seems really good at what he does. Now, who knows what he does, though?
Well, I think it's a 4-letter word.
Did you see this, all this news Ben Stiller's making about Somalis and stuff?
Yeah, he was on Twitter, like, defending this shit. I don't know exactly what he said, because I really don't care to keep up with that nonsense anymore.
Yeah.
But what did he say exactly?
Well, Trump tweeted on Thanksgiving, like, fuck Muslims, fuck Ilhan Omar, Somalis are destroying our country.
Yes, he said something that was, like, so funny, where he's just like, they're all bad people. And I'm like, okay, as a president, you probably shouldn't say that, but that's really funny.
I remember you shared it in the group chat. You're like, this is kind of goated, though. like it's one of those things where you're like, where do we even go from here? Like, he just won. He won Twitter. But then, you know, all the Hollywood people would be, actually, Somali is good. And it's like, okay, cool. Ben Stiller made a tweet where he's like, we love Somalis. They are the lifeblood of this country.
Oh,
it's
my
like,
God.
Okay. And then somebody found that apparently he's involved in this giant money laundering scheme in Somalia. Or like some charity or something that's like misappropriating funds, or like he takes money from some like political action committee from Somalia. Like, yeah, it doesn't make, I don't know. It came and went from the news cycle very quickly. And I went,
They said, shut it down.
So,
don't talk about it.
Yeah. So if someone in the Somali government is visiting the United States very soon and some Boeing helicopters go missing, don't pay attention to that.
Oh, so Minnesota, which has, it's weird. So like all the Somalis just congregate in like Minnesota for some reason. Mm-hmm. I don't know why exactly. Maybe they had like a sister city thing with like Mogadishu, and they're like, oh yeah, this will work out well. Sure, and then they get infinity Somalis.
Yeah.
But the population of Minnesota is like 1% Somali, which is a lot for like demographics in the United States. Mm-hmm. They had a mayoral election, and they had like a Somali mayor in Minneapolis. And then he lost his re-election against like some white dude who just like speaks Somali a little bit, because he was part of like the wrong tribe. And they had like an intertribal feud. He's part of like the Bing Bing tribe instead of the Gungongs. And all the Gungongs were just like, oh, me no vote.
Yeah.
We no vote for Omar.
Damn.
And he lost his election to an Aryan brother. And yes. I think it's really funny that like it was literal tribalism that got him elected and also got him pushed out of office.
And now the Aryan, he did that video where he's eating it looks like dog food in a bowl.
He's eating that fufu.
He's eating some garbage. It looks like burnt red meat that's diced up, and then he's spreading it on some mashed potato cabbage looking thing, and he's eating it, and he's like, "Oh, so good!" It became the most viral video because he's obviously like, "Oh my god, get me the fuck out of here!"
It's not like a good looking North African falafel or anything like that. It literally looks like plate of slop.
It looks like literal garbage.
And he's like, "It's good, thank you, Somalis."
And Ben Stiller was already in the news because he made this documentary about his parents. We get 3,000 of these a year where it's like, oh my God, we all need to take a moment to appreciate the legacy of Nick Hudson, who was on television in the 70s and had a recurring character for 2 seasons where he walked through a door and said "I'm inside the house now, guys." And then there was a 2-minute applause break. Everyone who was ever involved in comedy in television now has a documentary about how great they were. Ben Stiller's parents, Jerry Stiller, who cares? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I don't.
Who gives a fuck? I've actually seen his work, and yes, he's the dad in Seinfeld. He's the dad in King of Queens, and he was in other things. Who cares? Ben Stiller makes this documentary about them. Suddenly he's on every fucking show that exists promoting it. It's no. I had this argument with my mom because she watches the Today Show. And I'm like, how can you watch this? She goes I know it's not good, but I'm learning what's going on in the pop culture. And I'm like, you're not learning what's going on in the pop culture. Because every time I share anything from pop culture, you've never heard of it. And you're watching a segment right now about John Travolta's Christmas commercial. That's a segment. It's you're going to see him playing Santa and doing grease dancing in this new ad for Chevrolet. And it's
and anything that's on the Today Show is not pop culture.
No.
This is written by 60-year-old postmenopausal hags who write for NBC who are just saying oh, the kids like John Travolta.
Yes. This is them deciding what the pop culture is going to be in your consciousness. Yes. Oh, you know what the big thing is this week is this Ben Stiller documentary about his fucking parents how much self-celebration do you need? Mm-hmm. What would be enough? It's like Spike Lee's career. What is it going to take to satisfy this?
It's a side quest, dude.
Dude, is this Andy Warhol Basquiat movie ever going to come out? Do you know what this is?
No.
There's the dude who wrote Bohemian Rhapsody, actually, and tons of biopics, Theory of Everything, Darkest Hour, tons of Oscar bait.
Yeah.
He wrote a movie that's called The Collaboration about Basquiat and Andy Warhol doing a famous painting together. Mm-hmm. And it was made starring our favorite Amadeus, Paul Bettany, as Andy Warhol. And it was filmed and it was supposed to come out 2 years ago. Still no trailer, nothing. And then this Amadeus trailer comes out where Paul Bettany is playing Salieri and Amadeus is played by Taika Waititi.
Oh my!
What are we doing?
Oh my God! It's a guy who looks a lot like Taika Waititi. You are right. Yeah, so Amadeus, I haven't seen it yet, but everybody I talked to is Amadeus is a fantastic movie. Was it 90?
84.
84.
Milos Forman, who did One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, won 8 Oscars. Classic movie. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Some of the best acting and casting of those 2 leads. And now we have a new splashy Netflix-looking movie. It has that Netflix stale look to it.
It looks like Bridgerton ripoff.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's Bridgerton starring Paul Bettany and Taika Waititi. It looks fucking gay. And I was watching that. I was like, why do they have this? Why? Because people always make this false argument with well, when they make a bad remake, the original still exists. They didn't delete it. Yeah, but they're kind of are deleting it in the consciousness of the next generation because they're going to see this or the new Old Boy, and then they're going to go, wow, that was terrible. And then the original, even if they know the original has to be better, they're not going to watch it because they've already seen the story but done bad. They don't need to get through it again.
And you know what the problem is? So we had just done our episode on Spike Lee's remake of Old Boy, this South Korean classic from 2003. We watched a review of this guy who's the most effeminate person I've ever seen, who's just so I watched Spike Lee's Old Boy and his reason is that the old one was not streaming. And until a year ago, the original Old Boy was not streaming in the US for a long time. You could not pay for it legally. I mean, you could probably find something online, but maybe the subtitles weren't fantastic.
You couldn't pay to rent it on YouTube or something.
You could not legally watch this movie, and most people aren't going to pirate or torrent shit on the computer. The mass majority of people are just if it's not on Amazon where I can even just pay money for it, I'm not going to even bother. Mm-hmm. Which makes sense because it's not everybody's that tech literate. So this guy is able to watch Spike Lee Oldboy because it was available everywhere. You know, it's an American production, so the rights are pretty easy to handle compared to an international film, which Neon like only picked up like 2 years ago. So if they keep doing this with like an American production of a movie that's, you know, leagues better and the rights are like easily accessible, I mean, classic movies are getting taken off streaming all the time.
Yeah.
There are even stuff that's like made for like Netflix that is leaving Netflix. I'm like, you made it. Did you lose the rights? Like, what was, there was like some HBO cartoon. I forget exactly what it was, but it was made for HBO Max. They produced it in-house with like people that they definitely have the rights for. And it's just gone now. So it's like, okay, well, you didn't sell the rights to anybody. I guess I'll just pirate it.
Are you talking about Santa Inc.?
Maybe there's a lot.
That was the Seth Rogen cartoon, the claymation that was like making fun of Santa or Christmas or whatever.
Not specifically that one. There's at least a different one where it was a cartoon that people liked that wasn't Seth Rogen slop.
Okay.
But the fact of the matter is, it's like, how do you lose the rights to like a Netflix original as Netflix?
Yeah.
And this is the problem too of just like, okay, well, if I can't watch the good Old Boy, you're literally kind of raping me by giving me the bad Old Boy right here.
Kind of raping me. I think I know what you're talking about because I've zorbed it of people talking, because I was going to say I read this, but I didn't read it. I zorbed some information, people talking about that kind of shit where it can be used as a write-off of kind of like in the producer. It's like we lost money. Like we produced this original and it costs money to host things on our own service anyway.
That's true.
And the argument is that it's so low viewed that we cannot afford to keep hosting it, even though, you know, it's fucking not true at all.
No.
So we can't afford to keep hosting it. So we can't even display our full library at any one given time because more people are going to watch when we have Fury on our platform than when we have this original program that didn't do well. I think it's that kind of thing. And then it allows you to have like a write-off for your taxes or something.
Yes.
I don't really know how it works enough to be able to confirm it, but I've seen people say that that's a thing. So.
Yeah. They did that with Batgirl. That movie was done. That movie was done and watchable.
Yes.
And they said, well, we don't think this is going to, we think it's going to flop, which it might have. You know, I can't tell because I haven't seen it. It didn't look great, but even if a movie's not great, it still has a right to exist. It should still be out there so people can like rent, buy it as just a piece of art. I mean, like we talk about like dog shit movies all the time.
Yeah.
I don't want them to be deleted forever. No. I want people, you know, you can battle in the marketplace of ideas, dude.
Yes.
Have your thing out there, and if people want to buy it, they can buy it. They also tried to do this with, I think it's called like Acme versus Wile E. Coyote.
Yes.
And it's a movie that they were going to shelve. And then a bunch of people saw this and said, you're shelving like, you know, an Acme cartoon.
Like a decent movie.
A decent movie. And it's like a mix of like live action and kind of like Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Not exactly that animation
Looney Tunes
style.
Back in Action.
Yes, exactly. Or like Space Jam. And people were just like, why are you doing this? And they discovered after Batgirl, they're like, well, it's going to be a tax write-off. Eventually, they got into discussion with somebody, and somebody bought the rights to it. So that is going to get a release, I believe, 2026, which is great. And hopefully people actually watch that movie. It's one of those things where I might just go to a theater and watch that.
Yeah.
To show that they shouldn't shelve movies. It kind of feels like doing homework or your duty. I mean, the movie does look kind of interesting.
Really, Chris Stuckman, we got to support Shelby Oaks so that other YouTubers can get their films made.
I mean, I'm for like old style animation, you know, that kind of IP like existing still.
We don't want things to just be thrown out because of a corporate interest where it was made and it should be seen by the people that it was made for, and we already have nothing in this goddamn life. Let us have a Looney Tunes movie or something.
These people put years of their lives into producing a movie, and Warner Brothers is like, well, I don't know, I could make a lot of money by not showing it. I could make more money than at the box office. And here's the thing. I think the people have already bought the rights to the movie. So like Warner Brother, whoever shelved it, is just not really going to see as much money as they would have. So you actually are, if you did buy a ticket, you are supporting somebody who, you know, paid for the movie for the sole purpose of showing it to the world. I don't know what that company is. It might be like Kill Babies LLC or something. I don't know. I'm not going to support. I don't know, but
Kill Babies LLC. Okay, we'll put the movie out after all.
It's registered in television.
Where are these babies?
But yeah, fuck anybody that writes something off as a for a tax credit.
Yeah.
Any piece of art like that.
Fuck you.
Agreed.
Fuck you, Warner Brothers. Fuck you, Warner Brothers. Who knows what I'm saying? Have you seen these articles about how the Obamas might be getting a divorce? There's like constant news articles about this.
I've heard about that. Yeah.
Trouble in paradise in Obama land.
Their relationship has always seemed very odd.
Yes.
And I don't know. I mean, I feel like being president and having like that light on you makes you act a lot more strict than you would have in a regular relationship. Mm. And they're not the only presidential couple that seems very strange.
Yeah.
But ever since like the first term, I'm just like, this seems like not arranged, but I feel like they're staying together for optics.
I kind of agree. Pretty much on all points. And yeah, she's doing like a Jada Pinkett, like I'm going to embarrass you in public thing where she keeps going in interviews and being like, I mean, my marriage with Barack is meaningless to me. Like she says these comments. It's always a plausibly deniable thing where she can then follow it up with something where it's like, no. I wasn't saying what you think I was saying. I was actually making a commentary on how other people make me want to say things like that. And it's like, no, but you just said that.
I was just creating a dialogue.
But you actually were saying,
yeah.
Though, like you're kind of raping Barack with this. There's stuff that's in the articles. Articles in the news space all the time that at least for a while there was a pretty frequent thing when I think she was releasing a new book or something. She was on some promotional tour for something, which is where all these clips have come from that you may have all seen, where she's like, our hair comes in curly and we straighten it for your beauty standards, which makes it hard for us to swim. It's hard for us to not commit crime because we focus in on making our hair palatable to you crackers. And it's like, shut the fuck up, you fucking
the reason I got to steal is because that hair straightening cream is expensive. And so would that baby form. Why? Okay, let me ask the audience something. Why do they be taking baby formula? Can they not breastfeed?
I don't know.
The sisters?
I don't know.
They constantly steal that.
I mean, if you're just drinking lean and Hennessy, like your breast milk must be pretty toxic.
Your baby's gonna be high because you're drinking the Walk Hearty.
That's why their average IQ is so high.
Because I never understood that. Like, if they were stealing, like, I don't know, what's the most racist thing I can say they'd steal? If
they were stealing like fried chicken and watermelon and lean and Hennessy.
What if they were stealing that one comb that they put in their afro, but it was like $500? I really don't get that's the one head scratcher where I'm like, really, what I don't get it.
They all just steal like batteries. They think they're bullets. They think it's like shells, like shotgun shells. They just love stealing like violent things. And
the D batteries they're trying to shove into the shotgun they stole from ramming a car into a gun shop. They rammed a Nissan Altima into a Cabela's and stole the guns.
Oh my god.
Fuck. Yeah, no, I don't get that. What were we even talking about?
Well, we're talking about these these press tours where she's saying these things, and this Amy Poehler appearance she did, again, bullshit that this was nominated for the Golden Globe over Your Older Brothers, the Amy Poehler series podcast. But she was on that show and she's like, people look at me like I'm stupid, and it's like, I've written books, I've given speeches, and you're like, shut up. By the way, I've always hated Michelle Obama.
I do too.
And we lived through a time where it wasn't cool to even mention the idea she might not, like, she had kind of a Beyonce level thing where it was like, she would just say the stupidest things, but then you were like, just looked at like you were a monster if you're like, well, that was actually kind of dumb. People are like, she's an angel. It's like, what did she do?
She thought she was Maya Angelou.
She is. Maya Angelou sucks. Michelle Obama basically is another Maya Angelou. She has this like sacred cow status, no pun intended, and it's completely unearned. Like, literally, what did you do except stand next to the president? All of the presidents, all of the first ladies, well, actually, at least the recent ones, like with Michelle and Bush's wife and maybe Hillary during the Clinton presidency, they were all like respected and seen as like, oh, these are like, but no one takes it seriously. No one listened to Jill Biden. No one listened to Melania Trump or does now. No, they don't take them seriously. Michelle Obama was the last one who got that like, oh, your voice matters because you're fucking the guy whose voice matters.
Yeah.
She's taken more seriously than Obama at this point. Honestly, Obama just comes out once a year to be like, I listened to Sabrina Carpenter. I think it's good.
It's really. I'm so glad now that we've stopped like listening to what the first ladies have to say. Because I mean, back in the day with like Nancy Reagan or like Rosalind Carter, people were just like, oh, whatever, president's wife or something. I mean, it's an unelected position, so it's like, really, how much can you do? Like your entire point. Like what you're supposed to do is just like do like the annual like Christmas event, and maybe have one thing where it's like, I'm launching my new like campaign. It's like, stop like bullying, and it's like, okay, sure. I mean, I guess everybody agrees with that, but what are you really doing? And then once Michelle Obama ruined all our school lunches, which is where every person our age started to hate that bitch. Because we used to get, like, delicious lunches. Like, we'd get, like, pizza and stuff. Maybe it wasn't the most nutritious stuff because a lot of public school districts are poor, but that food is cheap and the kids were actually getting full bellies. And she's like, well, now you have to have all these vegetables. And then what happens, because vegetables are expensive and all this stuff, and public schools aren't funded as well, the lunches shrink and they get worse. And so every kid who relied on, like, the morning breakfast or lunch at school was just like, okay, well, now my lunch is worse. And there's a person who specifically did it and claims that it's better. And everyone's like, fuck this stupid bitch. Yeah. Fuck this bitch who's obviously a dude, by the way. Who was the one who said, like, if you can show me a picture of Michelle Obama pregnant, I'll give you $100,000.
Yeah. She has I don't believe these theories that she literally has a penis.
No.
There is that one video of her dancing on Ellen where it looks like her pants come together in the bulge of a penis, but it's also like but you can see that when she then spreads her legs apart again, the fabric it's just coming together. It's just the Larry David scene. It's just the penis scene from the first episode of Curb.
It's a thing in the jeans.
What fabric does.
Yeah, and the jeans, like sometimes if your jeans are like rippled weird, it looks like you have a boner.
Yeah, exactly. It's just I don't buy that kind of shit, but she has the most extremely ugly, not that having masculine features, like obviously like you wouldn't look at a man who looks pretty much like Michelle Obama and go, that is the ugliest dude. Because for a dude, it's like, you should look, she looks extremely horrendously ugly for a woman. She's terrible. Mm-hmm. When you see her without all the makeup possible, the best possible outfit, and the straight hair, when you see without all that stuff, it's unbelievable. And she still looks terrible with all of the dressings. Yeah, with all the, being gussied up and everything.
She's like Eleanor Roosevelt ugly. Have you ever seen her?
Yeah, terrible.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, they're tied for ugliest bitch.
Do you believe that Barack is gay?
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Because, well, two things. One is like tangentially related. So, Obama was like when his dad, I think, just like fucking left or something. His mom married a guy or was dating a guy who was Indonesian, and Barack was raised in Indonesia for a little bit, and he speaks like pretty good Indonesian. He hid that on the campaign trail in 2008 because Indonesia is the world's largest Muslim majority country. And so if he said, yeah, I actually do speak Indonesian, which would have been kind of cool because, like, it's always cool that presidents can speak languages. Like, Herbert Hoover spoke Mandarin. John Kerry, when he was running in 2004, just like spoke French, and he was like an ambassador. And it's like, that's cool.
W speaks Spanish without an accent, but speaks Spanish.
Yes, and that's cool. Fine. Yeah. I would like my president to be a little bit worldly. Yeah. Whatever. He hides that, and because his middle name's Hussein, and he's like ashamed of himself. So I think. He probably should have told his mind. He's like, fuck it, I'll just say I speak Indonesian, because like, how can it really hurt? Because I'm pretty sure like any racist redneck is like, that's that terrorist language, Indonesian. Like, they probably don't even know it's a Muslim country.
Well, and people already called him that. And the tan suit and like the fact that his middle name is Hussein, people already were like, if we elect him, we're just going to get 9/11 every day. And it's like, how do you think this works?
No, it doesn't just appear like a random event.
Yeah.
Oh, you elected the bad president and 9/11 now. Yeah. 13% chance every day. He also wrote a book where it was like his memoir where he said something and he's just like, yes, I have sex with men emotionally in my mind.
Yes.
And it's like, what does that mean?
I remember this. It's a love letter to Michelle where he says, I dream of making love. He says, I make love to men every day, only in my imagination. Now, you're writing a letter to your girlfriend.
Yes. This is the woman that you want to put penis in.
Are you going to say this in any context other than this is an inside gag where we heard some other say this once, so now we jokingly, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. It can't be an inside joke that they heard somebody say, and he's like, "Oh, Michelle."
Yeah. It's the only time the only time that statement's appearing in a love letter is in the most ironic sense, where it's like, this is me and my girlfriend's only inside joke like this, and it's like the only time. What are you saying there, Barack? And also, the gay chef who committed suicide behind the White House. Very weird. There's the guy who claims that him and Obama had gay sex. I don't know if I believe his story, because he comes off like a guy who he doesn't come off the way that I think what people accused him of like, this guy's just trying to get famous, whatever. He doesn't strike me as someone who wants to be famous or capitalize. He strikes me as someone who's just delusional. Mm-hmm. Not that his story like makes no sense, but it's just like way too perfect. It's like, I met Obama, and he was the handsome politician, and he, snorted coke off my erect penis and then sucked on it. And then I had sex with his butthole. And then he said, I am Obama and I'm going to ruin America. And it's like, did that all really happen in one night?
I'm Obama, 4 more years, 9/11 tomorrow. Like, I believe he's gay. I don't believe he had the chef killed or anything. I'm not sure about that. I do know that his half-brother Malik Obama, who lives in Kenya, despises him.
Really?
Yeah, so Obama's dad's side of the family does not like him whatsoever. A ton of them are just like, Obama like kind of disowned us. So he's like, once it was like politically relevant to just say like, I'm not talking to those Africans. Malik, I think I'd like met him before, like they were like maybe friendly, met up like once or twice, and then after a bit he just basically is like, I can't talk to you anymore. Like it's politically bad for me to be seen with you people. And so his brother's like a big Trumper now.
Huh.
Which I mean, I guess is like a fair reaction to like your brother, the leader of the free world, just being like, I'm not going to talk to you. I kind of disowned you. And it wasn't, I mean, from Malik's perspective, because I don't think like Barack ever talked about this. He just one day was like, okay, bye. There was no like animosity. There wasn't like one big event as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, I feel like he's a real like House of Cards type, where he's just like willing to like do any PR thing to get ahead.
Yeah, I believe that. He gives off I don't know, people who just immediately hated him were like, he's so fake. And it's like, he's not more fake than any other president.
No.
Like he's, but he has earned this reputation as like the real guy, though. Like he's earned this reputation as the president who wasn't fake, or at least was the least fake or less fake, or like genuinely cares, or no, I don't see that at all. I just see the same sociopath we see with any elected official who's good at playing charming. The thing is, here's the thing: no well-adjusted human is in a good mood all of the time.
Right.
No well-adjusted human is basically like always able to show being even-keeled and unbothered and, focused on the mission or whatever. And Obama is constantly projecting like this really laid-back, chill vibe. He's just a talented actor. Like it's no different than what we were talking about of just like Brad Pitt and George Clooney. Like their persona is the performance, and they just they just live that now. It's just become second nature. That's all he's doing.
I was about to say he is like George Clooney, who is a big Democratic donor.
They're like friends.
He has swing. Like he can basically like kill anything that's like coming up. Unironically, I feel like George Clooney has more sway than somebody in Congress.
In certain ways, they're big thought leaders. I mean, Hollywood people ruin their reputation in the eyes of the average person frequently with stuff like the "I take responsibility for being white" video thing.
That was so bad.
But like Clooney, he doesn't get into that kind of shit. I mean, he did do that thing where he was like, Mr. Biden needs to drop out of this race, and I'm writing my open letter. And it's like the entire world is saying this. Like, you really don't. Like, there's kind of this assumed importance of like, I'm the one who's really going to tell you what you need to know. It's like, we can all see with our own eyes. We saw the debate. Like, you don't need to do this. But it comes off pompous. It comes off arrogant, and it makes him less likable. With Obama, he really, honestly, like, to be fair to him, he doesn't stick his head into every issue all day.
No.
He kind of actually rarely speaks up. And he usually says something that's pretty normal. And it makes me wonder, because people have freaked out so much about him. And they're like, oh, he's ruining the country. And it's like, you guys don't deserve Obama. He's way better than the kind of shit we got to deal with now.
It could be so much worse.
It is so much worse now.
Yeah.
But I do think he is fruity.
Yeah.
And Michelle doesn't seem to like him very much. Like she just says she has like a podcast with her brother who looks more like a girl than she does, by the way. And she talks about stuff where she's like, yeah, me and Barack, we need space. There's a thing where she's talking. She's like, yeah, the only reason our marriage is so good is because he spends a lot of time working and not near me. And it's like, she says stuff like that all the time. And it's like, this is weird.
It makes me think, I mean, this has to be a thing of like stay together for the kids or just like the country to keep up appearances, because in politics, I mean, if it was a regular like couple, Hillary would have like divorced or killed Bill Clinton when he did all that shit. Yeah. But when is the last time that like a president got divorced? Because the Bushes didn't, Biden's didn't.
Kennedy might have, because Jackie was very mad at him for all the cheating.
Well, but I don't think that went through because she was in that car in Dallas.
No, it didn't. I'm saying they would have. I think. I don't see them lasting after he wasn't president.
Yeah. I mean, I get what you're saying, but that's kind of an abstraction. But like, was there anyone who like after they left office or in office was like, yeah, the divorce is fine?
I don't think so. I really don't think so.
It couldn't be any of the original ones, because you do not get like a divorce unless under very specific circumstances. Like there was like there was a big controversy with Andrew Jackson, because I think he's like the 12th president or something, or 10th. There was a controversy because he married a woman who she thought she had gotten a divorce. They did it like legally in 1800. That is extremely hard to do, or like 1812. She thinks she gets it done legally. Apparently, like the court documents weren't like fully finished, but like they were separated and it was getting processed. And she marries Andrew Jackson, and then the press somehow gets like a hold of that. And they're just like, you fucking whore, this is unpresidential. And it's like, first of all, that's obviously just like a mistake with like some clerk.
Yeah.
They aren't like, like polyamorous or like anything like that goes against God. And I remember like she eventually, like she was like so heartbroken that I think she just like died. And then he was just like, fuck Native Americans. I'm going to do the Trail of Tears today.
Died of a broken heart like a bunny.
Damn. Andrew Jackson is so fucking cool, dude. He's the one who, like, that guy tried to assassinate him with, like, 2 pistols, and they both, like, jammed. The chances of that are, like, astronomically low. Yeah. And he, like, almost beat the guy to death in Congress, and, like, Andrew, stop.
There's way more presidents that have been shot or shot at than we realize, because we always think of just Lincoln, Kennedy, and Trump, but
Reagan.
We always think of Trump. No one even people honestly forgot about that already.
I super forgot, yeah.
But yeah, Reagan was shot, and there's another president who's not that famous, who was shot on the street. Do you know about this?
It's either Garfield or McKinley. The one who died.
Maybe, yeah. Just was like, someone just on the street was like, hey, you're the president, you fucker, and just like shot him in the gut. And he's like, God damn it, you've killed me. And then he just sat on a bench and died.
That's Garfield. Yeah,
it's crazy. And there's another one, I think it was Teddy Roosevelt, who got shot in like the gut or something, and then was just like, God damn it, this hurts.
Yes.
Anyway, I'm going to finish my speech now.
Yeah.
It's like, you're bleeding.
He was giving a speech, and he got shot in the chest, but the bullet lodged in his speech papers. And they tackled him, and he went on talking for like another hour. And he was like, "Okay, I should probably go to the hospital."
It's just a flesh wound.
Yeah,
they're like, "You're gonna fucking die."
Yeah,
dude, Teddy Roosevelt fucking rules. Do you know about him?
Yes, he's awesome. The only bad thing he did was he tried to run for a 3rd term, and because he split the vote, Woodrow Wilson, the worst president in U.S. history, got elected. This is the dude that loved Birth of a Nation so much, showed it in the Oval, like the White House.
Yes.
And then like the Klan had a resurgence.
He was like, this is Kino.
Yeah, in the 1910s.
That movie it was popular. It was really funny because it became popular in small groups of people like, oh, I got a copy of this film and I'm going to have people over to my church tonight to watch it or whatever.
Yeah.
But then the president was like, we are doing a special screening here. And then immediately was like censured by Congress or something. People were like, this is not the move. Do not do this.
They're like, we barely got through Reconstruction. You cannot do this. Yeah. And besides just being like corrupt and passing a bunch of laws that really only affected like rich people, also he had like just a fucking stroke and like hid it from the press, and his wife was just like signing all the papers. It was like the fucking auto pen scandal with Biden.
Yes.
He literally was like bedridden, and they're doing like a weekend at Bernie's where somebody come in and like, we haven't seen Woodrow in a while, and they would come in and like move his hand up and like move his jaw like, hi, Woodrow, and they'd be like, Mr. President, thank you, and then his wife is just signing shit. Yeah, no, he genuinely, this is some lore here. He is, and this is not a minor opinion, a lot of people think this, Woodrow Wilson, the worst president we've ever had. So if you hate any of the past 20 years, it could be a lot worse.
Could be a lot.
He also got us into World War I.
I don't know enough about him to be like, you're right, he is. I mean, I believe you. Did we talk about the flaw in Oppenheimer with how not Carter, God damn it, what's
Truman.
his name? Truman, thank you. And there's a reason why I said Carter, but which we'll get to. Did we talk about what's wrong with that portrayal? Have I talked about this gripe?
Not exactly. I know the dialogue allegedly is realistic. Like, don't bring that fucking weirdo in.
Yeah, possibly. I guess he made that decree. The thing is, Truman in that scene is displayed as like this badass. You know, he holds out the handkerchief like, you didn't drop the bomb, I did, motherfucker. And it's like Truman was actually like extremely unpopular.
Yes.
And when he became the president, was like he was like a loser, nerd, dork vice president. Like everyone hated him, just like Mike Pence or Vance or any of these people. And then when he became president, like he was like, you know, he wasn't like a terrible head of state or whatever, but his personality, he didn't exude like this authority and confidence. He was very much kind of like the way that Nixon, when he was losing it, kind of became just like an insecure baby child. Like that's kind of how Truman was. But in the movie, they portray him as like this like kick-ass guy, and people hate Carter so much. Carter was a much better president than Truman.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Well, you're right wing, so.
I mean, Truman was very unpopular. There's that famous photo of him holding the newspaper that says Dewey beats Truman, because it was like a 2016 Time magazine thing where they're going to do Hillary and all that, where they thought, Thomas Dewey is so much better. He's obviously going to win in a landslide. And it's like, no, that's not it. Yeah. That was the 2016 equivalent election in the day where they're like, yeah, we got it in the bag. Nobody go out to vote. It's fine. Yeah.
Carter's overhated.
Carter's a good person. He's a peanut farmer. Rest in peace.
He is a peanut farmer. And he had, yes?
Yeah, I think it's funny. He hit 100. He was in hospice for like a year, which is a long time to be in hospice.
Yes.
Yeah. No, Jimmy Carter was a good guy, but yeah, he was just pretty ineffective.
He's a good guy, and I think he's a victim of circumstance of, you know, there's some people, and I think he's one of them, where they kind of preside over a time where it's kind of lose-lose no matter what you do. You know, like the gas crisis being one example, and the energy crisis, really.
And the hostage crisis.
And him having to do the like, put on a sweater, don't run the heat kind of thing, whatever. Like, no one's going to like you if you have to do that. Like, he's in a position where like he had to kind of do the mature thing where it's just like, squabbling citizens are not going to be happy.
Yeah, like nobody's going to be on the same like level of like, oh yeah, we can ration gas for the war effort. It's like, it's the 1970s. I don't want to do that.
And then Reagan, who is way worse as a statesman, gets to have this reputation as being like the badass of history.
Yeah.
Again, kind of just because of circumstance. And it's like, well, there was like, you know, there was economic boom that would have happened anyway.
Yeah.
And then you just get all the credit. So like when you're president, you get all the credit or all the criticism for things that are completely out of your control.
Yeah.
And Carter honestly was just fine. And the hostage crisis, by the way, like, that was a successful operation that got credited to Reagan. It started under Carter. It wasn't his idea, but it was his administration that put that plan into place, and it was successful, and the hostages were saved and not a shot was fired. So but it's like, pussy.
Yeah.
You should have killed thousands of innocents like Reagan. You should have napalmed children in jungles.
Yeah. All these war hawk publishers, I want more death right now. Yeah, I think Carter is the last good person president, because Reagan definitely not. And Reagan, by the way, he's been like retroactively given this like, you know, lionization. When he left office, pretty unpopular.
Reagan?
It was below 50% for sure.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, he started well enough, and he got reelected. I mean, he won landslides, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
He won like literally the best landslide like ever against Mondale. Mondale won one state in D.C., which is crazy. But yeah, Reagan wasn't great. H.W. fuck no. Clinton no. George W. no. Obama no. Trump no. Biden no. Yeah, he is the last person where I'm just like, I think Jimmy Carter is not like a reptilian pedophile.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm going to be serious here. Yeah, I think he's the last person where it's like, yeah, morally he's fine.
Yeah.
I don't think he ever made like any evil choice where he's like, I'll throw these people under the bus, unless he, you know, without because you have to make choices as president that like impact people negatively to impact more people positively. You have to make hard choices. I understand that. I don't think he ever did anything malicious, but everybody else after him did.
If I had to meet a president, if Bill Clinton now was like, Caleb, I want you to come to my house and we're gonna have dinner and whatever. Like, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
But almost any other president now or during their time, any president, I would gladly go to the White House and shake their hand and take a photo. But I'm also in the back of my mind, I'm like, whoa, what's this? This guy's evil. What is he up to? What happens behind these doors? You know, behind these closed doors. Carter's the last president for whom I would take that photo during or after the presidency, and I wouldn't have any like, I wonder what kind of evils are in this. You know what I mean? Like the way that you would be thinking that, especially with with H.W. Bush.
Yeah.
Or like obviously Clinton, where it's like, ooh.
Yeah. And you know, most of the presidents afterward just kind of did a thing where they're just like advocating for like wars and shit in the Middle East and like, you know, business interests. Jimmy Carter's like, I'm just gonna build houses and tell him like 100 for Habitat for Humanity. Yeah. Like he was the last guy who was just like, yeah, you know what, fuck all this shit. You didn't reelect me, fuckers. All right, I'm just gonna make houses. Who cares? Did you ever see the King of the Hill episode with him?
No.
I don't think it's his voice, but Hank and like all the other people are like building houses, and they're just building it with like Jimmy Carter. And Bobby thinks he's Jesus Christ because his overalls say JC on them. He's like, Dad, I meant Jesus.
That's cool.
And him and Cotton have like a big argument, so he has to mediate them like Israel-Palestine. He's like, Cotton, do you think that Hank has a right to exist? It's a great episode. It's a Christmas episode.
Let's watch it.
It's fantastic. Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
We'll watch it.
Let's go watch it.
All right. Thank you guys for listening to our ramble. If you would like to write in about your favorite president or tell me why I'm wrong, that I think that Reagan's bad and Jimmy Carter's a good guy. For the record, I think Eisenhower's a pretty understated good president. He's done some bad things, but I think he's pretty dang good. Made the highways.
Yep.
Write in at yourolderbrothers@gmail.com. On Instagram and TikTok, we are Your Older Brothers Podcast. On X, we are You Are Older Brothers. And if you liked what you heard, patreon.com/YourOlderBrothers. $5 a month for at least 4 extra episodes a month. That's about 4 or 5 hours of content.
You can pre-order my new book, From Peanut to President, The Jimmy Carter Story, at yourolderbrothers.com. By the way, my favorite president from like the modern era, hands down, Nixon. Sorry.
Wow.
He's awesome. I mean, he's also crazy and an asshole and a villain, but he's also very cool.
He's a big nerd, and I want a nerd as president.
I want a mean, weird nerd. I love the Nixon tapes are some of the funniest things. When he was talking about Bohemian Grove, he's like, this is the biggest fucking shit I've ever seen in my life. He rules, dude.
Yeah, he's been reappraised recently. I'll have to look into him. Watergate was bad, but you know what?
Maybe happens every day in America.
It does now. It's time to forgive.
Watergate. There's a great Nixon quote where he's like, yeah, He's like, someone's like something Watergate, and he's like, oh yes, Watergate. That's happened only once. You can tell he was just so mad that he got burned for that. It wasn't even his idea, by the way. It wasn't even his idea.
Yeah.
Literally, the way that they got him on that is that they said, hey, it already happened. Now we need to pay the thing, or like, you know, the plan's already in motion, and he's like, well. Okay, where are we gonna get the money? And it's like, oh, he's part of it now. No, he got thrown under the bus. Tricky Dick. Here's, rest in peace, Tricky Dick. We love you at this podcast.
I love your cameo in Futurama. I love that they chose you.
I love that. Yeah, I love that. It's kind of an accurate portrayal of his impotent rage. Yeah.
And his VP Agnew is just like, the body, no head.
This clone of Agnew.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spiro Agnew, by the way, weird ass fucking guy.
Fucking creepy.
Talk about him on a future episode of this podcast. I'm not a dick.
Arrgh.